Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track from an act named Avalanche the Architect titled Talk the Talk. And if we switch over to here, we have it on the main screen off of the album Let There Be War, which is the latest album from Avalanche the Architect. We're going to listen through this track from start to finish and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh.
Avalanche.
Okay. Damn. We are not hesitating, are we? There is absolutely no chill. I like that we had that slow build into the intro there with the synth parts and the drums. And we have Avalanche's distinctive voice come on as we go along with the la 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 in the background, like a battle cry of some kind, you know?
You the quietest, the white Israeli, the black Zionist, crack scientist, I rely on this, the way I break bricks, the IFS. I remember selling packs of baking soda, the fiends look and talk, just like Yoda. My runners know they gotta fill that quota. Drug mule in a rented Toyota, bad bitch.
Drug mall on a rented Toyota. Story of Avalanche coming up. Talk to talk. I wonder how we're going to continue to elaborate on this.
After name Dakota, I get you more snow than Minnesota in mid-October. Hitters get you clapped like a show. When it's over, I get you loop or dark water. No safety bulldog, dog, it bark harder. Manslaughter, your man's daughter. Thought you were damn smarter. Shoot at his feet, a dance partner. Red beat connect the dots.
Damn, dude, is this through composed? Are we just slapping two verses and a chorus in between? Or is this going to be the story the whole way? I like how we're not hesitating. Really cool Foley with the applause and the dog barking and stuff like that. Really interesting tale being told about Avalanche's background, I suppose, the way it came up. And I like how we've got these little adjustments to the main theme as we go along here. We've got these higher synth parts in here. It remains interesting. It's a somber overall vibe, but it's a nice sort of intro to what he's all about.
Damn Barker, I collect poker money, better pay a damn marker. More green than a damn gardener. Faggot rapper suck dick to advance damn further. Wanna die for jewels? I'll make you a damn martyr. 20 mil insured, reviews a bank charter. Cougar white bitch, you suck dick and Carter. Diamonds in my ring, more yellow than tartar. Bullets got more grains than a sand farmer. Pack it in the summer, I'll make it damn warmer. God
Oh no, we're going the whole way through. There is no verse, chorus, verse structure to this. This is through composed. We are not holding back. We are indeed talking the talk. And his flow is solid. He's got solid flow. I like to listen to Avalanche.
Kevlar and even dragon scale. Goddamn armor.
Interesting like little fade bits there, you know? Adding some of those trappy sort of hi-hats coming in here.
I hear him beckoning. The silence from my coward afraid to talk is deafening. Speak with my hands and feet, I love to talk. Outline of bodies, ooh, I love to chalk. No Dwayne Johnson, the fiends love to rock. You owe me money, home invasion, I won't knock. Got cop killing bullets, that vest won't.
Talking about Dwayne Johnson and Rock and talking about going around the bodies with the chalk and stuff like that. It's interesting. There's some wordplay going on here. I appreciate it. I like the creativity there. It's good to listen to. Even with the 2.5 minute track, you need to put that effort in.
I ain't talking park. You'll have to learn to walk and talk. Got the Desert Eagle. I ain't talking hawk. You like to talk, but your niggas talk a lot. You talk and talk until you get shot. Shoot off your mouth. You won't be talking hawk. I was OT with them gualas just chillin'. I'm stronger than Brawley. You weaker than Krillin. A rusty OD, a fiend wants what.
Nice Dragon Ball Z reference there. I dig it. I like that a lot. It's nice that we finally got to the talk-to-talk aspect in this latter half here. We got introduced to him, and then he's now comparing himself to other people so that we know what he's all about.
Say get high, higher than the ceiling. Banana hat, cap said I'm peeling. The bitch on her knees, ooh, she's just kneeling. She's screaming Avalanche, ooh, it's you I'm feeling.
That flex at the end. Damn, it's you I'm feeling. Okay, cool. There's a lot to take in there for the intro track off of the Let There Be War album by Avalanche the Architect. But I can appreciate it, because this is the conclusion for this track, you know. At 2.5 minutes, each of the tracks within this album is reasonably short. I think that Avalanche is discussing various topics in here, whether it be a chronological or an overall concept kind of album. I like the swagger that we have on here. It never feels too overwhelming from Avalanche the Architect. It's usually quite palatable. What helps a lot is that the production of the instruments is fairly solid, as well as musical themes are interesting, and we'll go through it bit by bit. But the story, I believe here, effectively the crux of it is someone saying, this is who I am and this is what I've done, and I'm the real deal. And I love to talk, but so do you, except you don't actually know how to back it up. That's my interpretation of what this track is about. He's comparing himself to other people and establishing the difference between him, and a reason why you should care about his story and what he does. Avalanche the Architect's vocals are interesting and charismatic to listen to. It's not just the occasional repeats on top of the main line, it's also the phrasing of it. He never settles for one way of just running through the track the entire way, you know. He will switch up his flow, keep rhythms that he enjoys, and segment the track even if it's through composed in a way where it's relatively easy to follow, and not too chaotic. There's enough change in instrumentation and the comping of it for him to be able to keep a sense of sensibility about it, but at the same time be as creative as he wants to, without it being too overbearing or over the top. I like the fact that he was talking about himself before other people. He knew that he needed to sort of show who he was, but in the same time you get that he doesn't feel the need to prove himself, which is interesting. I mean, like, usually by the point you're releasing an album, you've got nothing to prove, right? It's your, like, that's your big moment, you know, releasing an album. Even in a day and age where it's effectively a singles economy, I still don't think there's a day and place for albums to offer a room for a bigger concept to be communicated, and I hope that the rest of the album allows Avalanche the Architect to do that. And I've talked about the structure of this. His flow is clear, obviously, and while it was a story from start to finish, it didn't necessarily have that ABA structure. It ended in a way that made a lot of sense. It started succinctly, ended with a sense of humor, and also with a sense of, yo, sort of a don't screw with him kind of vibe. And it almost feels like you can believe him. The structure, though, as I mentioned, was through composed, and I don't think that having a hook line in here, having the talk would have made it better. I think that actually keeping it simple was the best way to do it. If he can keep you entertained as a vocalist for that 2 minutes, then let him do it without needing to go back to a catchy melody or something like that. Let it sit. You know, it's not like it's 5 minutes. It's not like you're like getting too used to the tone of his voice, especially if there's a first impression with him. It's enough to kind of make you want more, but it also gives you stuff to think about in case you need a break. The synth parts, the bass and the drums and other parts, various layers there were little bits of Foley as well. There was enough in there to sort of layer the overall frequency spectrum and stereo field nicely. You know, it was nice and full sounding. Bits got taken away occasionally. There was a nice little bit of filtering as well at the end there, which kind of lowered go to the high end of the instruments. It kept more of a low mid focus, which helped to keep Avalanche the Architect's range sitting static on top of it. We had a 4 chord progression that repeated, you know. It was nice and easy to follow, and it wasn't neutral. There was a sense of, it was quite a little bit ominous, almost like you're about to go into battle or something like that. It sounded tense, but at the same time I think that the combination of that not being too over the tense and not too on the nose, and combination with Avalanche the Architect's vocal style made for an experience where, like, I feel like it could get heavier later on and it'll be okay because you started off like this. You're not just showing everyone your full hand at the start. You had interesting melodies and arpeggiated bits there, and there was some cool drum grooves in there that kept a solid pace and foundation for everything there. But a lot of the focal point of the mix was, of course, the vocals, and that's where it should be. Everything else is a lovely accompaniment, but the musical theme and motif stood well enough on its own. Even if it was looped most, if not the entirety of the time, it never became stale. The production, the recording, mixing, mastering was interesting. It was great, you know, it was professional. I initially had to check the volume because it was like, there was no resonant frequencies or anything like that. It was just nice and level. It was like, oh, you know, everything's, you know, it's nice and loud, but it's also like they weren't trying to overly compress or limit it. It felt like a commercial record. And that's an interesting thing, because sometimes people are so desperate to have that perceived loudness that they'll crush track, you know, subjectively the feel of it. It'll just sound like it's either breathing too hard, or it almost will be a less of an experience because it's more like a dance track than anything else. And that wasn't the vibe we had there. This is more of a journey, an adventure that you're going on with Avalanche the Architect. So I enjoyed the way that the limiting and compression was done. You know, there was lots of work done with the post-production in regards to, like, the stopping and starting of instruments, little bits of Foley, you know. The repeaters going on either side and varying occasionally. It would have been an interesting session to have a look at in regards to the actual setup of it and like the DAW they were using. Hopefully this amount of effort that's been put in regards to that is carried throughout the album. If it has, then I think Avalanche has got a winner on his hands. It excites me, you know, what's going to happen in hip hop and rap in future. I look forward to hearing a lot of really cool stuff like this throughout the rest of this year. I can see like the war in Ukraine. We could be talking about some topical stuff throughout this. And I think it's great that musicians are looking to talk about that kind of stuff as well. You know, we're not afraid of talking about the difficult subjects. I think finally, just a testament to the actual production is the clarity of the vocals in the mix, you know. It kept his sort of signature timbre whilst also allowing him to sit so well that everything felt really nicely glued together. And it was a pleasant experience to listen through, despite the intensity at some points in regards to the lyrical subject or anything else going on there. It was great. You know, effectively though, that is my review of Avalanche the Architect's track, Talk the Talk. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go check out his music on Spotify as well as his other various social medias. And his album, of course, Let There Be War. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as you need to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.